Are you ready for a brand new DC update? All right, guys, today is the day. They're going to have the first official public viewing of the Flash film, and we're going to probably see a lot of different things posted online over the next couple of weeks, and I will be covering everything. So I'll talk a bit more about that at the end of today's video. I do have just a few pictures to show. It's been quite quiet for the last couple of days, and I wanted to get this update before The Flash gets released and the internet goes crazy with some of the stuff. Supposedly, the embargo on talking about The Flash does lift today, and that actually bodes well for the film. They don't usually lift embargoes for films this early, like a month early, unless it's going to be good. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about the release here in just a few minutes, but let's take a look at a couple of pictures. So this is something I grabbed a couple of days ago, and this was reported by several different people that there was actually a meeting between Zack Snyder, Netflix, and Warner Brothers Discovery. That tomorrow that's mentioned in this message would have been yesterday, Monday, April 24th. So it says tomorrow's meeting will be crucial as it will determine the fate of the Snyderverse. Let's go. But it was quiet after that. There was nothing discussed yesterday. And if there was a meeting, then they're not going to divulge that information right now. This is something that will be revealed later. And with this being so close to the Cinemacon, there is a possibility that this did happen. There's no question about it. If they want a big announcement at the Cinemacon, they would be getting prepped for that at this stage. The Cinemacon is later this weekend, coming up this weekend. I'm excited to see, what comes of that as well. Again, I'm excited for it. I'm not expecting anything, but I'm excited for it. That way I won't be disappointed if nothing happens, but we will find out shortly. So this is another one of the big stories I wanted to talk about today is David Ayer's Suicide Squad. The actual script for the film was released online. I talked about that in my last video. But this is coming from some of the cast here. The cast talking about deleted scenes that could be in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Leto said there's a lot of material. I think we could fill an entire DVD with the amount of deleted scenes. And there's one particular deleted scene I'm going to talk about when I get done looking through these various videos or these various photos that I have for you guys today. All right, here is the picture for the official teaser poster for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And I'll be honest with you, I've lost all interest in this. With this coming out at Christmas time, I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to do well, especially with after The Flash and all the stuff that's going on with Warner Brothers Discovery. I think people have lost interest in what Warner Brothers is doing in general. They finally admitted that James Gunn's, his announcement kind of ruined the enthusiasm for all of these films. And that was their business decision to do that. They have nobody to blame but themselves. I think that's a cool-looking teaser poster, but again, with the comments of Jason Momoa saying he loves doing comedy and that there's a lot of buddy stuff with him and his brother when they had a serious issue in the first film and it was more serious. I'm just not looking for comedy in my superhero films the way that they want to inject into these films, and that is a personal preference. So like I said, it has been pretty quiet for the last couple of days. There hasn't been a whole lot of information released. But let's talk a little bit more about David Ayer's Suicide Squad. So there was somebody who, on my feed the other day, that posted a one-pager from the script that had to do with Batman. And it's this type of release or information that gets released where you realize that the studio really screwed the fans over. Like you can't even argue that they were sabotaging this stuff from the beginning. But Batman was supposed to have several different scenes in the film with some of the various characters that were in the Suicide Squad film. And in this particular scene, he was in the sewers trying to hunt down Killer Croc. And they said you could see he had some night vision. Batman had some night vision stuff on. Killer Croc, you could see his yellow beady eyes. He comes up and tackles Batman by the legs. They kind of struggle. And Batman ends up being able to get up, and he takes all his force and cracks the arm of Killer Croc, and that's when Killer Croc asks him, why are you coming after me? What did I do? And he says, talk about something like the 50 people that you killed, that sort of a thing. They screwed us over. We got the one scene with him going after, we saw him with Deadshot, and we saw him go after the Joker, but there were supposed to be some other interactions that we never got to see but were filmed. And it's a shame that they went to such great lengths to sabotage these movies before they got released. Same with Leto's Joker. He was supposed to be in over an hour of the film, and we only saw him for less than 5 minutes in the actual movie itself. So they butchered everything, and it's a shame, what we got versus what we could have had. We would not be having, I probably would not have a channel right now had they done what was right. But Warner Brothers has screwed with these movies for years. The only time they let people do their thing was Christopher Nolan with the Dark Knight trilogy, and you had Zack Snyder with the first Man of Steel film. But outside of that, the studios interject in everything, and they just will not let the filmmakers make their movies. And one thing people forget is that Christopher Nolan was a huge part of Snyder's, the Snyderverse, and him being a part of them creating all of this. And they were looking for a more serious adult tone, which I think is very much needed in the genre right now because everything's gotten ultra silly. So let's talk a little bit about the Flash film itself. It is going to screen today at the Cinemacon. And supposedly the embargo lifts today as well so that people could start talking about it. Now, people going to this have been warned, apparently, that this is not the final product. There are probably some things they're going to save for the actual theatrical release, like maybe showing off the new Justice League at the end. Supposedly, the ending of this is very ambiguous, and I am going to mention something about the Flash film at the very end that if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, you're going to want to, I'll let you know before I talk about it, you're going to want to head out of the video. But it's apparently not finished with some of the special effects. They still do have a month to work on it. They can get quite a bit done in a month. And, that's kind of where they stand with the film at this stage. It is getting, the first official public viewing today. We will be seeing stuff posted all over online, and we will discuss those things coming up in future videos. All right, so here comes that spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled, it's time for you to leave now. All right, so supposedly one of the cameos, and this has been confirmed by several different people, is Nicolas Cage as Superman in the Flash movie. Now, I don't think he's going to have a full-on scene, but I do believe he is going to, when he's traveling through the Speed Force and they have the montage of all the different DC universes and characters that have been played throughout the years, that he is going to be in there fighting some spider mechanical type of spider creature thing. And that's going to be a takeoff of the Burtonverse. So originally, for people who don't know, and if you're a DC fan, you would know this, there was going to be a Superman film. I believe it's called Superman Lives, if I'm not mistaken. And it was going to star what's his name? I hate it when I do this. But he was going to star as Superman, and there are some videos on YouTube that go through the production. You get to see him in the suit, what they were creating. And why they chose him to play Superman in the first place is just a goofy choice, but that's what they were going for. And I'm glad the movie never got made personally, but we still may get to see a glimpse of that here in the Flash film. All right, so there's my update for the day. Again, if you have not, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you won't miss any of the videos. I have a lot of stuff coming up. I have a Star Wars video I'm probably going to do today, an Indiana Jones video I've got to finally get up today, and that's going to lock me out from stuff being promoted. So if you are not subscribed, you will not see some of the videos that get released. And if something big breaks today, I won't be able to talk about it. Now, I may wait until later to release one of those videos because just in case something big happens, but just know that anything could happen throughout the day. And if you are not subscribed and you haven't hit that notification bell, you may very well miss those videos unless you go directly into my profile. I do appreciate the amazing support I've had from people watching my channel and sharing it. And I will be back with new updates very shortly. I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next video.